We'll give it another. Oh. Hello and welcome to this episode of Fearless Aging. And the title of this segment is The Future of Medicine: How Herbal and Nutraceutical Formulations Are Changing Clinical Care and Offering Prevention and Health and Longevity. And our expert guest today, his name is Dr. Robert Beltran. He's the CEO and Chief Formulator of Recommend Nutrition. He combines nature's most effective ingredients with modern science to create products that support physical and cognitive health without harsh side effects. His work is grounded in clinical research, real world results, and a personal mission to help others reclaim their well being. So, Dr. Robert Beltran, thanks so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. So my first question always is, just real briefly, tell us a little bit about your journey. And I know you face, some health challenges, and how that got you motivated to create your own product line.
Well, I'm a double boarded surgeon. I practiced for 31 and a half years in Orange County, California.
Oh,
I'm boarded in otolaryngology head and neck surgery, which is commonly known as ear, nose, and throat, and facial plastic and reconstructive surgery. I had a very busy practice. Yes, I did have some injuries that occurred in 2011, late 2011. And over the course of 18 months, I ended up having 5 major surgeries, 3 minor surgeries. Initially, my thought was this is the worst thing that could possibly happen. I was in the prime of my career. Financially wasn't a problem. We saved our pennies and our nickels, but I was definitely at 58. I was definitely in the prime of my career as a surgeon, and my initial thought was one of disappointment, becoming somewhat depressed, having a certain darkness around me, and then that lasted about 2 years, and then I came to the realization that this was possibly the best thing that ever happened to me because as I continued to look in the rearview mirror, I realized that I was really working way too hard. Way too much responsibility was falling on my lap, and I was really overstressed.
hmm
So once I came to, and the herbs that I started taking in 2014 certainly helped me. I think they altered my mindset in a very positive and gave me a sense of calm and patience that I think I had never experienced before. And this gave me the ability to navigate forward in a very positive and passionate manner.
Yeah, well, that's such a good message because, as you know, and let our audience know, that we now know that stress is really the main precursor to most chronic illness today. So, what begins in our mental emotional state end up manifesting in our physical body. So, yeah, that's something that we really got to let people know that it's so important to do that. So you were able to find some, I guess, Chinese formulas and of herbs
But yeah,
that
one
really
of
made
my
a difference.
colleagues, as people get to know me, they realize I'm very anti-pharmaceutical. Here I am, a doctor, have
Yeah.
doctorate degrees in medicine, pharmacy, and that's actually probably the reason because I just know way too much about pharmaceuticals, and there's too many of them that, in my mind, are a 50-50 proposition. Do they offer benefits? Yes, but in my mind, the side effects, especially when you talk about medications in the categories of antidepressants,
hmm
mood stabilizers, sedatives, prescribed sleep aids, and of course, we all now know the dangers of narcotics. They just have way too many compromises. And I'll just name a few very quickly. One, they all cause some degree of brain sedation. Number two, they all cause some degree of cognitive impairment. Number
hmm
three, they all cause some degree of diminished motivation. Number four, everyone that I ever met face to face who was on an antidepressant, a mood stabilizer, a sedative, you could tell that their personality was somewhat altered. So all
Yeah.
of these things, came to my mind and made me realize that was not the route I was going to go to deal with the challenges I was dealing with at that particular time. So a
Yeah.
colleague of mine of Chinese descent, he had studied herbal medication in China, and he thought they would be helpful for me, and he was 1,000% correct. It's the best decision I think I've ever made in my life because the last 11 years have by far been the most. I've been the most active, the most productive, the most fulfilling, fun, and exciting years of my life.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Well, my next question is though. I mean, there are so many products available today. So what motivates you? Why did you decide to create your own products?
Well, once I started taking this packet of the capsules that had 5 herbs in it, I realized that the potential benefits were just amazing. And it just shocked me that I hadn't been aware of this beforehand, how dramatically the benefits could be, both from a subjective and, more importantly, an objective standpoint. And I started doing a lot of research and came to the realization, well, one of the reasons you don't know this is because there's so many nutraceuticals out there that don't really have obvious benefits. People aren't able to discern either a subjective or objective benefits. And in my research, I came to the realization that at least 50% of the products out there are like that, where people take them, but they take them only because somebody told them, hey, this is good for you, or they read an article that said this is good for you and you need to take it. And so they took it at face value and moved forward with that. Well, we have a whole different approach. Our approach, when I met with my team and decided we were going to take these, create create our products and take them to the public, they had to meet criteria. They had to be safe. They had to have very discernible benefits that were subjectively and objectively noticeable. They had to stimulate vital physiological processes that we know are vital to improve ongoing health and offer you the potential for longevity. And not just longevity, but longevity that's associated with activity, productivity, fun, excitement, and all that. And then they had to help reduce stress. So all our products have adaptogens, and they had to improve digestion in order for us to optimize the very important vital gut-brain axis. So we were able to check the box on all of the above, and that's when I decided, yes, we have something very important, very vital to offer the public, and we're going to move forward with this in offering our products to the public.
Okay. Well, that's a great answer. But still, there's still so many people out there who make all these. Well, I think that's important. People make a lot of claims for all these products, and of course, some people do say they have scientific studies and they have testimonies and all that. So, what would you say? I mean, what? Still, people could say, well, maybe you're just saying that too. I mean, how do we know that that's fact? So, what would you say to people? How can they really be more sure of what products that they're taking?
Well, I think people have to start doing a little bit of research. They can't take what they hear, what they read at face value. Um, it just, and then let me use social media as an example. Social media is full of so much deception, misleading comments, and in a lot of situations, falsified information, or they use the information that's out there to create their own narrative. And two products that are very popular right now, NAD plus.
Hmm.
Numerous studies, numerous big time institutions have studied this, and they've come to the realization that people who take NAD plus, they don't notice a subjective or objective benefit, and yet it's flying off the shelves because people have read that it's the most important thing you can do for anti-aging. It stimulates one very important product. It improves intracellular metabolism and energy. And is that important? Yes, of course it's important, but it's only one component of what has to occur from a physiological standpoint to stimulate healthy processes within the body. And number two, this MTFHR thing that is being promoted like crazy on social media. If you look at the science, and every top-notch medical scientist is going to tell you there is no real value in that at this time. A lot of the claims that are being made are extrapolations, i.e., what I said earlier, people creating their own narrative to fit what they want to propagate, and yet the science does not support that in a manner that's being presented to the public. So those are just two examples. So I think what people have to do is they have to look and say and ask themselves, does this entity, whether it's an individual or a company, do they understand the human biology? How important the human understanding the human biology, the human physiology, the pharmacology, the pharmacokinetics, the pharmacodynamics, and the clinical medicine considerations and applications. So I think this is the kind of thing, this is the kind of mindset the public has to have. Because if there's a company that's out there promoting something and the people that are promoting it don't have this understanding, this background, they should be very concerned that there's the potential that they're just being sold something that's because it's marketable. Doesn't mean it's been scientifically proven, doesn't mean it's credible. It's just marketable and they're running with it. And we take a whole different approach. As I said, we had to meet very specific criteria before I even considered moving our products forward in the marketplace.
Yeah, yeah, I think I totally agree. I've been in this business for over 45 years, and I like to try all kind of products because I want to see. And most, I have to say, the vast majority of products I've taken, I've never really noticed any really benefit. Well, one thing I wanted to ask you about also was I noticed on your website, a couple of your main products are called Clear Focus for men and also Clear Focus for women. So why did you make those your main line program? Why is focusing? You think that's so important these days?
Well, Clear Focus is the product that we use for the target specific benefits are increased physical and mental energy, increased mental clarity, focus, and cognition, and while simultaneously providing a sense of calm, mood stabilization because of the ashwagandha and the L-theanine that are present in the formulation. So it really gives you a boost of energy. And what's good about this is that it's not a boost of energy that's associated with the jitters, the nervousness, the anxiety that you get from too much caffeine, from energy drinks, and from Adderall or other amphetamine derivatives, which kids and young people are able to get online at a whim, which is really unfortunate in and of
Yeah,
itself.
yeah,
So people have to understand that we created these products not only because they have benefits, but they're safe. And too much caffeine, especially from energy drinks, if you go over 3 cans of energy drinks a day, you're really overstimulating your cardiovascular system. And those of us who have been in medicine, we used to see cases all the time in the emergency room or unfortunately the ICU and sometimes the morgue where people overstimulated themselves too much and they went into cardiovascular arrest. And this happens. It's not something that happens. A fraction. It happens. It happens on too much of a regular occurrence, and that's on the short term. On the long term, people who take these things long term, and I'm talking about more than 18 months,
yeah,
they need to be concerned about at some point developing an enlarged heart, what we call cardiomegaly in medicine, uh, hardening of the arteries, which we call arterial sclerosis, and then leading down the road to cardiovascular disease and increasing the risk in premature development of heart attacks, strokes, and deep vein thrombosis.
yeah. I just want to add to that. Talking about energy drinks. Energy drinks are not giving you energy. They're just a stimulant. It's going to jack you up for a little while and then let you down. And taking all those stimulants is actually depleting your long term energy. It's putting stress on your adrenal glands. Yeah, energy drinks. That's another mislabeling, isn't it? Well, Dr.
Yeah, one
Robert,
of the things we're doing, Rico, is promoting Clear Focus as the safe, healthier, and more effective alternative to energy drinks, Adderall, and stimulants of that nature.
yeah, that's so good. Well, I highly recommend. We're just about out of time. I highly recommend that you go to Robert's website. We'll put all that information in the show description. I know he has a 20% discount going on right now, so I highly recommend you check out his Clear Focus and all these other products that he has. I know I want to. I want to check it out myself. So, Dr. Robert, thanks very much for your work that you're doing, and thanks very
I
much for
want to
being
say
here.
one last thing, if I may, Rico, very
Sure,
quickly.
sure.
A approach to longevity, anti-aging, as I said earlier, it should be associated with activity, productivity, fun, excitement. But the key to that is you have to obtain products that you know are going to increase the microcirculation throughout your body, promote neurogenesis, which is the restoration of damaged neural tissue, increase the replenish your neurotransmitters, brain neurotransmitters, because all of this is what's going to stimulate those vital and important physiological processes that are so vital to promoting good health and longevity. And you need to consider, besides taking a good product like the ones that we are able to provide the public, exercise daily, meditate,
Yeah.
eat healthy, live a healthy lifestyle, targeting your body mass index at 28 or lower, because above 28 is where all the bad things start to happen: the diabetes, the high blood pressure, cardiovascular disease, and whatnot. And then do what you can to minimize your stress and improve your digestion, because a healthy digestive tract promotes a healthy gut-brain axis, which is so vital for our energy and our mood.
Very good. Thank you so much. Thanks for that great information. Thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Robert. That was
It's
great.
my pleasure. Thank you very much. It's been an honor.